2016, there's a slightly change in the law that would prevented corporation of owning private homes.
Right.
So with that change in policies that permit banks, corporation, LLCs to own properties, they become now they own a block. They can own half a block, and then they left it empty because the government still subsidizes those money. I think we need to revisit those laws. We need to making sure home owners belong to the American people, to the working class, not banking, not the bankers, not the banks, not the LLCs, not the corporations, because those corporations, they don't pay tax. I'm gonna give you an example why it's bad for the economy. It's not helping, it's trigger more. When you have all those entities, they are also non-taxable.
Oh.
So because they're non-taxable, imagine if a small city or a small county that's relying on a local tax. The state tax, the state income never is something that can compare to the local revenue. Imagine you have 30% of your business that's tax exempt within a small city. That would be a dying city. This is the reason why you saw so many business went out of business, so many shopping centers that used to be flourished 15, 20 years ago. Now they like ghost town. I think we need to revisit those laws and empower the veterans. I don't believe in hands down, because if you have somebody that have a chronic issue with drugs, example, that trigger bring that person to the justice system. To the moment that person gets that process to the justice system, when and out, if he or she feels safer to go back to prison instead of staying on the street, he's gonna commit petty crime to go back in. That's why we need to start differentiate and separate the drugs issue, the drugs problems we have in the country, in the state, to minimize the aspect of homelessness within our street.
How do these corporate homeowners that have contributed to such a spike in homelessness in Broward County, how are they connected? Obviously, they're going through Tallahassee to get the backing that they need to build where they want to build. Then they have to get through the local county and the local city regulations and permits and approvals. Seems like there are many checks and balances in Florida from Tallahassee all the way down to the county and or the city. Somewhere along the way, those checks and balances were either ignored or through legislative voting removed.
And first thing is for individuals. Corporation override everything because corporation buy power.